Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon those who follow guidance. Finally, Daniel Hakikato has made a video on Pakistan-Afghanistan War. Deep analysis with professor. He invites a professor to the show to give a deep analysis on this. And you'll see, guys, crickets in the comments. Crickets. And what am I talking about? Well, remember when American bases are all in the UAE and how they are launching rockets and fire from those bases against Iranians? This is all Wahhabis. This is all Zionist Wahhabis in bed with the Zionist Israel and Americans. Right? Wahhabis are the root to all evil. Salafis are the cause of disunity and destruction of the Muslims. They are the worst enemies. They are the biggest enemies of the Ummah. This is what Daniel Hakikato will preach, right? But have a look at this. Let's go to the comment section, right? And you'll see crickets. Not a single one of these comments ever bring up Pakistan's theology, whether they are Deobandi, whether they are Hanafi. All we hear from the comments is, oh, Pakistan military very corrupt and controlled by USA. So Pakistan is indiscriminately bombing and killing Afghanis. We've seen how a hospital was bombed. Over 400 people got killed, right? And we see Pakistan completely silent when Israel was bombing Gaza, right? Completely silent, did not even lift a finger. But when it comes to Afghanis, they're already sending airstrikes, they're bombing them. And the comment section, not a single comment that says, oh, you know, it's the theology, it's the Hanafi method, it's the Deobandi method. No. You know what they conveniently blame? They say, oh, it's secularism. The Pakistani government is secular, right? Look at this comment. As a Muslim and Pakistani, I sincerely pray that Allah brings reconciliation between Pakistan and Afghanistan. And he gets 52 likes. Now, here's a question. When American bases are in Saudi countries, and those Saudi countries and those UAE, those Arab countries, are helping facilitate the bombing of Iran, do you guys make dua and say, may Allah bring Saudi Arabia and the UAE, I sincerely pray that they come together with Iran? No, you guys never pray. You guys never pray because you guys never pray for the Wahhabis or the Salafis. No, you collectively blame all Salafis and Wahhabis and you say, may Allah ruin them and destroy them and may Allah send them to the pits of hellfire. You call them the dogs of hellfire, right? But when it comes to Muslims in Pakistan and Afghanistan, you want reconciliation. Oh, let's make our du'as for both countries to come together and unite. Right? See, this is the hypocrisy we're talking about. You guys never blame secularism in the Gulf countries. You don't say, well, maybe it's not Wahhabism, maybe it's not Salafism, maybe they're also controlled by secular liberalists that allow certain Western ideals even. Do you remember when Donald Trump was greeted by the Saudi prince and they used women who did that ritual, that custom or that culture where they started swinging their hairs, right? They greeted them with girls with hairs, which is totally against Islam. They should be wearing the hijab. This was totally against Islam, this custom. Are you telling me that Wahhabism and Salafism believes in that? That was secular liberalism. It had nothing to do with Wahhabism and Salafism, right? So you guys can see clearly that secularism and liberalism is ruining Saudi. But you want to say, oh, it's just Wahhabism. It's just Wahhabism, Daniel. It's just Wahhabism. Why? Because this man had a theological problem with Adnan Rashid. He couldn't defend his own Aqidah. He did not come out to defend his own Aqidah, and he could not come out and display his own Aqidah. And what happened? He started attacking Adnan Rashid. It's you Wahhabis, it's you Salafis, you're all Zionists, you're all planted by the British trying to ruin the Muslims and disunite the Muslims. But when it comes to Afghanistan and Pakistan, he's silent. You know, he talks about disunity of the Muslims. You're destroying the Muslims. And you have Pakistan, who is destroying Afghanistan, killing Afghanis, making the blood of other Muslims halal. Isn't the Pakistani leaders and governments and officials, aren't they Sunni Muslims? Or are you just going to declare them kafir? Are you going to make takfir on them? And if you are going to make takfir on them, are you going to say that the blood of Pakistani leaders and officials are halal, Daniel? Are you going to declare them? Are you going to declare takfir on them? Right? So if they are Muslim and if they are Sunni, this is Sunnis killing other Sunnis. Right, Daniel? But I thought you just went after Wahhabis. Only Wahhabis make the blood of other Muslims halal. Right, Daniel? So look at these comments. Pakistan establishment is as corrupt as it gets. As corrupt as it gets. But they're not Wahhabi, are they? Look at this. Salam, brother. I am Pakistani and ashamed of our establishment. They are controlled by Zionist regime like other Gulf countries, and 80% Pakistan's hate. So, okay, well, Daniel, there you go. Your fan base is saying that they are controlled by Zionists, just like the Gulf countries. So this isn't about Wahhabism or Salafism, Daniel. This is the West, this is the Zionists controlling the Wahhabi lands and controlling the Sunni lands abroad, right? So if you want to say, oh, you sellouts, you Wahhabis are sellouts. Well, what about your Sunni countries like Pakistan, majority Sunni? They're controlled, they're all controlled by Zionists. There you go. Pakistan is a Zio puppet country. They are owned by America. And here's another contradiction, folks. The Taliban is actually declared a terrorist organization, right? But Daniel speaks positively about that. They're being bombed by Pakistan, the secularists, right? They're being bombed by the secularists. Would Daniel be this sympathetic if Pakistan was actually blowing up ISIS? Would he say we need to have peace and tolerance between the two? No, he wouldn't, of course not, right? He would say ISIS is Wahhabi and secularist. I don't know what that means. It's Wahhabi and Salafist, right? They're a terrorist organization. They are the dogs of hellfire. Taliban? No, they're not the dogs of hellfire, right? Because they don't belong to Wahhabism, secularism, right? Or Wahhabism or Salafism. So the truth of the matter is, folks, Wahhabism or Salafism is not the enemy of the Muslims. Okay? They're not the enemies of the Muslims. The enemies of the Muslims are those secularists and liberalists. They're the real enemies of the Muslims. And also the ones who create the most disunity are people like this, who declare that all Wahhabis and Salafis are the worst in the Ummah. They're the ones that create the biggest division. And this punk forgets that if you go to all the comment section when it's a post against Wahhabism or Salafism, they're all cursing Wahhabists. They're all cursing Wahhabis to the dogs of hellfire. They never speak the language of, brothers, let's bring unity amongst us. Yeah? Let's bring unity. Daniel will never say, let's unite the Wahhabi and Salafis with the Shia, for instance. He will never say that. He'll say rather that we need to remove the cancer of Wahhabism and Salafism, right? But he would never say, let's remove the cancer of Rafida Shiism. He'd never ever say that, all right? So these are the biggest guys, the biggest jokes that cause the biggest disunity.